I'm gonna take yeah. So I genuinely don't think that we'll go back kind of rubber band back to what we were prior to COVID. I think that there's a lot of legal requirements also that I feel like corporations are going to kind of take as far as precautions and definitely make people feel comfortable as they enter back into the workforce. And I actually think too this becomes extremely valuable to someone like an Elude in this case for a business because you know people yes are going to want to get back to what the normalcy was prior to COVID, but there's still going to be a lot of hesitation and also just different rules around if you can come back 3 or 4 times in the week. And what we're starting to find, and this is kind of in our subsection of our group of members and users, but the digital nomad, yes, kind of started as someone who just doesn't care where they live and they're going to all these different locations and being a little bit more spontaneous. But I think what COVID actually, proved in our case specifically for a digital nomad is that there's so many variations to this, right? It could mean a month someplace or, 3 weeks, traveling and being at a new location and still being bunkered down in a hotel, but seeing and exploring a different location. And I think we're going to start to see some hybrid. I think as the world again starts to open back up, and then last piece here, and this is just from my personal experience, having worked in the corporate side and kind of going into the travel and running, a fully digital and remote team, is I think corporations and companies are going to have to be required to kind of shift that focus. We've already seen it, right, where people are not required to go back into the office and work remote. But I think as, again, the world starts to open back up and people feel a little bit more accustomed to going back in, there's going to be this level of leniency, I think, that is going to be required from these corporations for people to go back in.